Hello and welcome to another Jamblast podcast. I am back at the bowling alley trying it again. Now, there's been a lot of corrections since these videos, especially when it comes to the bowling ball that I use. I have the Trend 2. I also have a burner as well as a Zen Master. And so on the Zen Master in particular, I had the holes, especially the thumb hole, tightened or made smaller so that way I can stop dropping the bowling ball. The Trend 2, as you see that I was throwing, it's fingertip grip drill, and I am, of course, coming around the ball more because I'm bowling with I think they're 14-pound bowling balls, and I'm wearing a wrist strap because I cannot cuff these bowling balls. Like, I don't have the strength in my wrist, and even no matter how many exercises and weights I train with, my bone in my wrist is only gonna be able to take so much. So usually when I do throw the Trend 2, I throw it in a way so that my hand goes around it, but it's already not near the bottom. It's kind of midway, as you can kind of see, and this angle is a horrible angle, but I'm doing my best, and I've made some significant changes. So in the future, I will have different angles when it comes to my bowling as well. And so with that being said, as you can see, when my hand does come around it, I'm able to get a reaction, because these are reactive balls that I have. I would like to try a urethane bowling ball sometime, but my problem is the spin. So I'm getting the end over end, but when it comes to the angle, the sideways spin, I barely get that. I barely get that at all. And so when it comes to, again, normal bowling or conventional bowling, I have that hands down, but I wanted to learn the fingertip grip. Also, I've started to change my stance and my throw and my style as well, and that has made a difference. It's basically having to relearn to bowl, because I didn't used to bowl like the way that you see me bowling even through this video, which it has also changed since this was weeks ago. And I'm using my phone so to do this, and so at this moment I didn't even notice that the phone had fell at an angle. So I do fix it. It doesn't take long for me to notice. One of the problems that I have with the Trend 2 bowling ball is that the thumb hole is drilled round. And so I'm going to have to get that re-drilled so that it's not round, it's more oval shape to my thumb, so that way it is a lot easier and doesn't create sores and scuffs on my thumb. Because after so many throws, especially after one game, like my thumb, man, it develops a blister on the side. Even if I use powder, even if I use all kinds of different things, that it still develops that blister over time. And so, but as you can see, I can kind of curve the ball when I throw it, but that's with my hand coming around. Coming up from the underside or underneath, I'm going to have, again, this, especially the Trend 2, the holes re-drilled in a different way, because with the Zen Master, those holes are drilled a lot tighter to my fingers, and to a point where And also I can stay behind the ball more with the Zen Master. But I am working on it. I'm working on my approach. I'm working on my swing. I'm working on my 5-step, my basic 5-step. I'm working on my slide. I'm working on my approach, all of it. And so, but as you can see, I do have some spin. I think I would consider myself low rotation compared to what I see mostly at bowling alleys, what I see other people do. I don't really have a huge, strong reaction. This throw here was horrible. I came too high around the ball, and I didn't get near where I was trying to throw. I can't remember exactly what happened or what caused that time, but typically on spares, if I throw the conventional, I'm gonna typically get a spare. Sometimes I do miss, and that's unfortunate. Spares are very important, to pick up, or in bowling terms, to convert. Also, with the trend to, as well as the conventional bowling balls, I typically can throw the bowling ball out to the lane. Like, I can get it on the lane before it leaves my hand, or when it leaves my hand, I can get it out to the lane. But when I switch to the Zen Master, you'll notice that I drop it a lot. Lots and lots and lots and lots. The conventional bowling ball, I just dropped that. So I'm talking about dropping it. I just dropped it right there, because you saw it hit the ground before it even touched the lane. And I can't stand doing that myself, because it makes a loud bounce noise. And so, anyways, what's interesting is, though, while I was bowling this time, there was a nice bowling group next to me, and a couple, and they were watching me, and every now and then they would give me pointers, and I took them, and I thanked them. I said thank you. They'd be like, okay, you need to move over a few boards, or you need to aim more towards, or less towards the gutter when you throw. And I was very grateful and very appreciative, and I was like, yes, you're absolutely right. I'm still practicing. I believe this was only my second or third time out with the Zen Master. I had been bowling with the trend for 2 months prior to, and so I caught that down, even though it's incorrect, as you can see, especially when I throw, because my hand comes way around that bowling ball to where it's almost like above even a handshake. I also have been practicing on my swing, completing my swing, because if you notice, right here, if you notice, I don't continue my swing. I literally stop almost at the exact same time that the bowling ball leaves my hand. My swing stops, and I know that that's horrible, and I know that's wrong, but I don't know how I do it or why I do it. Like, I've tried so many times to continue through, like, even the person next to me, you could see they throw and they continue to swing their arm up even after the ball has left their hand, and I don't. I don't know if it's a mental thing or if it's just, I don't know. I don't know what causes it. It's like it's left my hand, and so there's no longer needs to be. I know another thing about that is you need to complete the throw or the swing. And I kind of did there a little bit, but it was horrible. But you need to complete the swing in order to really get the revs on the ball. And in my case, I'm short on revs and spin and rotation. So, yeah, about that. But I understand. I know that I need to continually work on that. Look at that. That was beautiful. I picked that up. I was a split, and I was able to pick that up. Very happy. Converting those into the spares. And that's the key. You know, you don't want to leave a round open. You don't want to leave a round open. So, um, but sometimes I don't even get any spin on it when I bowl, and that's what you just saw there. There was barely any spin on it, and it went almost straight. And that happens when both my fingers and my thumb leave the ball at the same time. So I got to work on that. I'm working on that, of course. And also my speed of when I throw the ball. I know that you're supposed to accelerate. So me, when I throw the ball, it just typically swings and then it gets normal swinging gravitational pull. Whereas you're supposed to kind of accelerate through the swing. And I kind of do-ish a little bit, but not enough to really get underneath the ball. Here recently, in my bowling more recent, I have been starting to do that a little bit, but it's gotten my throw a little, not a little, it's changed my throw to be way off. So I have to kind of adjust. I have to make adjustments because I don't want to pull, which is pulling my arm across my body, which you'll see me do occasionally, especially when I'm not balanced or when my timing is off. So that's another thing. Timing. Getting my timing down so that way my steps and my approach are all one without it being a catastrophe. A hot mess catastrophe like that just was. I didn't even cover. That was technically should have been an easy spare for me. I didn't even pick it up. So, but anyways, I like to utilize the trend or the trend 2 first. I usually try to do at least around that. Look at that, beautiful. And so at least do around with that first and then move on to my other bowling ball. Or sometimes I'll do throw the conventional again, but it's that because I'm used to throwing the conventional, it's not something that I am there to practice with. Another thing you can see, I'm still working on not lunging. When I bowl, I like to, for some odd reason, I like to lunge a lot. But I'm trying to stand up more, and so my lunge is not as deep, to the floor. So I'm working on that, and I'm actually since this video, it's been several weeks, and actually after I've had, especially one of my bowling balls, I dropped it again, re-drill or refitted. I'm able to loft the bowling ball because I was hardly ever able to do that on any of my bowling balls due to the weight and how the holes were drilled on my hand. So, but now it makes a huge difference. It really does. I'm able to get the bowling ball out to the lane, more out to the lane rather than hitting the ground beneath me, which is horrible. I know it is. So, oh, and then that approach. As you can see, I get really annoyed with the foul line. It's not that I'm scared of it. It's that I know that I have big feet. And my foot easily slides across the foul line. And so I tend to stay back. I tend to stay far back from it. And that's another issue when it comes to my throw, getting the bowling ball out to the lane rather than before the lane. And so that's another thing that I'm going to work on. So I think I'm going to take a moment, just kind of watch, review, and see where I'm at, even here with this video. I have noticed that sometimes when I throw and I'm off, I'm way off, and it'll like not go up the pocket correctly. Even though I feel like the throw's good, um, yeah, it's not. And so even that time, I wasn't paying attention. I got distracted. There was something else going on, and I got distracted when I threw that. Ugh, that was another split. Ugh, there's no way. Some of these, I try to convert them, but they're difficult. This one's difficult. So yeah, I don't believe I converted this at all. I didn't even really try correctly. So as you can see. Yeah, that was a pull. I pulled my arm across the front of my body, and that's why that was horrible. Pretty much a gutter ball. That's what can happen. I was off in my timing. I was off balance, and I ended up pulling the bowling ball. It may have been stuck to my thumb as well. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember, but yeah, that's definitely something that happens every now and then. And that time I thought I had the spin, but the spin wasn't in the correct direction, so it didn't reach the pocket at all. So I couldn't convert that. So I believe I took a pause because I have to, whenever I use the one of the bowling balls that I have, which is the I can't even think of it, Zen Master. The thumb holds very, very tight, very, very tight, and so I have to put on a sleeve, like a thumb sleeve for it, so that my thumb can slide out correctly. Because it's weird, my thumb's kind of like it doesn't do well without the sleeve, because it's too fat and no powder or liquid will work, and so I have to use a little sleeve on my thumb. But the Zen Master, the thumb, the hole has been tightened. It's been shortened basically, so now I don't have to. Or I still use the thumb sleeve, but I won't. I don't drop it. I don't drop it. I can literally now just hold on to the ball without having to squeeze at all. So, but I was shown that my thumb actually shrinks when I utilize that, and so that's me throwing the ball. It had a little bit of reaction on it, but it was on the opposite side of the pocket, which can work. So for me, throwing left-handed and being on the right side of the pocket is not ideal, but it can work occasionally. Just saying, and people do know that, but it's more, some people think it's more of a luck thing. I think it's more of an angle thing besides just luck. But yeah, see, that was another just horrible. I was trying to spin it with my hand over the top, and it just it came across my body and went straight to what is that, the 10 pin. So more practice, more practice. That's a good shot of the thumb sleeve that I have. So it's good to it really helps. It prevents the blisters and such. Tremendous. Like, I prefer wearing it, really. Dang it, I didn't even convert it, but oh well. So now, yeah, I have several more videos that are gonna post, especially for bowling practice for myself. A lot of this is for myself and anybody else who's, just interested in, or has a critique, or has something that they want to point out or say. But yeah, I did it again. At this time, because the Zen Master, I was squeezing it because the hole was big, but it wasn't. It was tight, but I was still having to squeeze because your thumb shrinks. So a lot of the pressure, a lot of the blood can come out of the thumb when you put it in the tight bowling drilled hole. And so with that, every time I would throw, my thumb would shrink more and more, and that was nice. But again, it was on the wrong side of the pocket. Oh well. Whatever works, right? So I can throw strikes, as you can see. I would like to increase my game. Currently, my average is it's I almost don't want to even say it's not, it's okay. With conventional, my basic average when I would just bowl would be around 158 to 165. And so now that I'm learning a completely different technique, completely different throw, etc., fingertip grip, my average is it's about the same right now. I would like it to go higher. I'd like to be as close to the 200s as possible, if not over. Not trying to be like all PBA-ish and stuff, but getting, the 5, 6, 7 bagger every now and then, or a couple of turkeys during a game, can really get my score up there. So that's what I got to practice on. Doing the same throw, getting close to the same results every single time, which is a strike. That's the goal of the game. Can't remember if I converted this or not. Some I did, some I didn't. I think my neighbor was talking to me. So and then I dropped. But yeah, see, I tried, but because I was still wearing my I don't like to take the thumb sleeve off, but because even when I pick up my conventional, but unfortunately it makes my thumb slide out way faster. It makes my hand release way faster on a conventional bowling ball. So I'm gonna have to do my spares with my Zen Master as well, and I've been practicing with that too lately. Yeah, so another horrible throw came across my body. It's too low because I believe at this time I was really grasping the bowling ball. instead of being able to just throw it, I was having to squeeze. That was a horrible, yeah. But it's, as you can see, thumbs down. Practice makes perfect, though. Practice, practice, practice. So I try to go at least once a week. Some weeks I can get in 2 practices, but I try to go at least once a week. And then I have, currently I do have a bowling coach, and so I have been, there we go, very much better. But I have been doing a lot better, so. I believe that came up the pocket correctly, on the correct side. That was wrong side of the pocket. There you go, dropping the ball, because again, I have the thumb sleeve on, so even when I throw the conventional, I end up dropping those too. Because conventional grip, the holes are drilled larger. It's intended for you to squeeze inside the bowling ball, so to a point. That was a horrible throw, but again, practice, practice, practice. I was off timing and everything on that, so. I do have to say, though, throwing the Zen Master, I do get a lot of pin action when it's thrown correctly, or close to being correct. When it hits close to my target, I do get a ton of pin action. Yeah, so I know I can always tell when my throw's off. When everything's off, I always can tell. Like, and unfortunately, because of the thumb sleeve, I can't hold on to the ball. And so once I start my swing and go through, I have to go through it because the ball's gone. Like it's gone. I can't hold onto it. Yeah, there was no side spin on that at all. So, well, that about does it for another Jamblast podcast / video of bowling practice. And so this is like part one of many different parts that are going to come down and get posted of one of my practices weeks ago. Oh, it's been possibly over. No, it has. It's been over a month. So, goodness gracious. But I have lots more videos to post. And so I thank you very much for joining me and watching. If you have any critiques, if you have any pointers, I already know, I do know about my hand placement, but if you have other things to say, definitely, give me a shout out, whatever. If you have pointers, tips, etc., I don't mind critiques. Anything to help. So, overall, I'm doing okay. So thank you very much for joining another Jamblast podcast. Wherever it is, wherever you are, have a good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and God bless.